So what we have done is essentially we've, as I said, split the entire transaction life cycle into segments. Now these segments evolve from the initial contract that you have. This can be with anyone. It can be your vendor, your client, any business at the end eventually does contracts, and everything then stems out of the contract itself.
Right.
So the very first thing is the contract. For that we have the contract lifecycle management system.
Okay.
Now the contract system allows the people who are managing the contracts to be able to organize the contracts, go through them, even use artificial intelligence systems to extract data or metadata from the contracts, and then also intelligently manage their entire inventory. So that is the very first part, the contract management system. Then after that, it might transition into a grievance. So for that, we have a grievance management system. Now, grievance management system, so since this is part of a whole workflow, that means it is intelligently integrated, not just backward into the contract, but also further into the subsequent sections of the workflow. That means information flow is fluent. The data that your organization might have is flowing fluently through the system. There's no need for submitting forms and such. Whatever thing essentially creates a backlog or a bottleneck for your team to organize your work, that is taken care of in the entire system. So once the grievance, if it is resolved, that is well and good. Otherwise, we will escalate and it will go to a collection team. So almost every business that operates in any manner of scale will have a collection team. It might be a dual purpose team where some people within your team are, acting as some kind of a collection mechanism, or you might have a full-fledged department. So the system that Jupitice has built is created to cater to all manner of scale of a system, of an organization. So whether even if you have 5 people within your team or 50 or 500, you can utilize the system. And specifically when it comes to collection itself, we are doing a lot of automation. This automation involves things like automatic campaigns. Those campaigns will have follow-up campaigns, and they are also multilingual as well. We have taken care of all of the localization capabilities that you might need, including things such as making it more interactive, more informative. The goal is at the end to make the end user, or rather the citizen in this case, informed about what is happening, what are the steps, and what happens if they are not able to resolve a dispute. So we have a gentle hand that is able to nudge the people for increased collection rates. That is the collection system. If it is resolved in that, perfect, well and good. If it again escalates, then it will go to further systems. Now, depending upon what the scenario or the situation is, it might go to a conciliation system, or you might be sending legal notices, or you might be having an arbitration. Again, it depends upon, since the system is dynamic, it adapts to the organization at hand. What I like to say to my team is, the organization does not need to adapt to the system adapts to the organization.
Okay.
So that is I think the key here, because what happens from this is entirely dependent upon how deep the organization wants to involve into the system. Typically in our experience, what we've taken care of is legal notices are sent. These notices are sent through the legal notice management system that we have.
Okay.
This system is able to generate notices in bulk, again in multiple languages. They are sent through multiple mediums like SMS, email, WhatsApp. We also do tracking of any links that are part of the notices. So if someone receives a notice, they have a link within the notice, they can click on it, and then we do a number of analysis and further intelligent processes to ensure that we are able to increase or maximize the recovery rate that there is. So that is the legal notice management system. And then after the notice, as I said, it might be leading to an arbitration or a conciliation. If there's a pre-existing contract, and the contract will almost always have an arbitration clause. So that arbitration clause will lead the further journey of the system. We can send out, after the legal notice, an arbitration notice, then the appointment of arbitrators, and all of this is done on the arbitration platform that Jupitice has.
The entire arbitration process as well.
The entire end-to-end system happens. So the entire process, starting from the initial notice until the final award, any corrections you might want in the award. So everything end-to-end happens on the platform.
Okay.
So that has been the key for us. And even that is something that has led us to great success with the clients. We've worked with the other teams, other departments that have told us clearly that okay, automation has actually brought real difference in their processes. So that is the arbitration part. And then it might also go to conciliation as well, depending upon where it is. We also have an ODR, which is online dispute resolution system, which is essentially a combination of a number of different things. So it will start with mediation. If mediation is able to resolve it, so in mediation there's no third party. There are only two people. So the organization and the person against whom the grievance or the issue is, they are able to settle down the grievance by setting it on a table and coming onto the same terms amicably, essentially. That is the mediation system. If after the mediation, again, it is not resolved, it will escalate to conciliation or arbitration, depending upon how the contract clause is structured. And then the arbitration, after the arbitration, we are able to escalate it again to litigation, again, if needed. So I think a pattern you are able to see in this entire process is everything is escalation based. Our goal is not to have more litigation, it is to have less litigation. And I believe that is a vision we share with all of the courts of almost every country in the world. No one wants more litigation. So the entire transaction lifecycle management system is architected in a way that discourages escalation, that encourages amicable settlement, and that I think is something that the system is actually able to achieve in the end. So I was at litigation. So essentially, what will happen is the litigation management system will integrate with the courts. We are able to fetch data that is publicly available. We can get orders, judgments, and all those things. We can notify the right people within your organization. If, for example, you are having a number of litigation, as any organization has of any kind of scale, they will always have litigation. So being aware of where the litigation is, what is happening in that litigation, that is a very key aspect in our experience of a number of our clients, because one commonly occurring issue that almost all of the clients face is they are not even aware that there's a litigation against them. Maybe they are made aware of it too late. They are not able to reply in time. That leads to ex parte orders within the courts. So again, a number of different consequences with one single root cause of not being aware. So that is also where we add a ton of value as well with a number of different clients. We're able to notify them of any litigation, any notices or orders that might be coming either in their cases or against them, and then they can again take action on it. Now the action that they take is also being done on the platform itself. So that is where again the end-to-end part comes in. We don't want anything off the platform, because the more activities happen off the platform, the more out of sync your team is. The more delayed any response time might be, and of course that leads into bad policy making at an organization level as well. So to be able to generate dashboards, reports, BIs out of the data of any team's legal department is a key aspect, I believe, of managing a litigation effectively. So that is the litigation management system, in which you are able to not just get court updates, but also, of course, then manage litigation, have petitions, have a number of AI features as well. You're able to transcribe any conversations you have. You are able to have meetings with your team, collaborate with them. If, for example, a lawyer and their team is creating a petition document or a response document, they are able to generate it on the system. They're able to manage it on the system, get internal approvals if needed, because we have multi-level approval within the system. Again, not just for litigation management system, but across the board for all the products that I've talked about until now. So that is the litigation part. After the litigation, we have further systems. So, for example, we also have a SurfaceC management system. So, SurfaceC Act allows banks to be able to enhance their recovery. So we have an end-to-end system for that as well. So that is for a specific subset of our clients that are able to engage the SURFACE Act. So again, end-to-end system, the data automatically and fluently flows through the litigation management system into the SURFACE system. And after the SURFACE, what happens is finally there's compliance. So the compliance part is quite critical. So this may not necessarily only be for litigation, but a business will have a number of different compliances.
Right.
As you might know, it might be for an order or a judgment that they've received, but it might also be statutory compliances as well. That they will be responsible for conducting. So these are things like, very basic things like tax returns, any returns of any specific processes that you might have. So these can be manufacturing processes. These can be, if you're a textile company, then you will have to adhere to a number of different standards. If you're a food company, then you will also have to adhere to standards. You will have to do audits. You will have to have compliance reports. If you're a tech company, you will need security audits. So these are all various different compliances that almost all businesses are exposed to, that almost all businesses are expected to do. And what we have is a compliance management system, which is sort of the other end. So if we are starting, from the contract management system, we are ending at the compliances. So compliances ensure us, as a business, that the business is aware of any due compliances. If there are, then what is the deadline of that compliance? Again, we are integrating with a number of different publicly available sources to bring in that data, organize it, and then we allow businesses to be able to track exactly what compliances they want to be notified of. And then also, essentially at the end, be able to track if a compliance is done, who is responsible for the compliance, when it was done, and also other things such as uploading or organizing evidences or reports of compliances and all those things. So again, an end-to-end system for a business, data flowing from a single place, no silos. We don't. So essentially, what mostly happens is systems or the departments are storing their data in a number of different applications. These applications can be, maybe they have an email server, or maybe they are storing their files on a local device. Maybe they have certain online document storage services that they are subscribed to. So that fragments their data, that splits the data.
Right.
They will always have a calendar, maybe, and even we've seen people that are entirely hybrid. So they will have their calendar physically present in their office. So again, it can be a productivity boost, but that deprives your team of having the same set of information that you have. So that, I believe, is a very critical thing. And so the entire process that the Jupitice team has built is to ensure that none of these things happen. The data flows smoothly. Data is readily available. It is most up-to-date data that your team might have access to. And that I believe has done wonders for our clients.
And all of that data in one place.
All of the data in one place. Absolutely. That is the key.
Traceable, so that it is available to the entire team at once as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So to summarize the entire workflow, if you have to put the transaction lifecycle management into a flowchart, how would that be?
So Stuti starts with the contract management system, as I said. So in which you will manage the entire life cycle of the contract.
Right.
It will then lead to a grievance management system for handling or managing or organizing all of the grievances that you receive. It will then escalate into a debt collection or a debt recovery system with all the automatic campaigns and such. Then it will escalate to a legal notice system, in which the system you can generate a number of legal notices, send it out through multiple mediums. Then, depending upon the contract, it might lead to an arbitration or a conciliation or ODR, which is out of court settlement. If none of those work out, Then you will go to the litigation management system. In the litigation management system, we get data from the courts. You will manage the litigation. Then it will lead into the compliance management system. That is the final end of it, in which the compliance is not just from the courts, but any manner of general corporate or enterprise compliances that you might have, you can manage them on the system.